I now give the floor to the distinguished representative of Russian Federation.
Mr. President, the Russian delegation is grateful to the Director General of the IAEA, Mr. Amano, for the report presented on the work of the organization he heads. Our country was at the forefront of the agency's creation and continuously supports its organization and values its activities over this period under review. We hope that the IAEA will continue to ramp up efforts to develop atomic energy and atomic technology throughout the world and to broaden international cooperation in these areas while also improving and bolstering the nuclear non-proliferation regime. The unique verification mechanisms of the IAEA allow for effective monitoring of whether states are carrying out their non-proliferation obligations. One of the central achievements here is the joint comprehensive plan of action to regulate the Iran nuclear program. Today, Iran remains the most verified country by the IAEA. The agency has implemented and supported a very difficult verification mechanism and is effectively fulfilling its tasks, which allows for the control over Tehran's obligations under this JCPOA, like the ensuring of the safeguards throughout the country. The Director General of the agency regularly ensures in his reports that Tehran is fulfilling its obligations under the JPOA, and at the same time, it is implementing the additional protocols and agreements under these safeguards. We stress our strong support of the JCPOA, which is a balance of interest between the parties and must be fully carried out and implemented. We fully support the agency in Iran, including through creating targeted training courses for the IAEA inspectors. We stress that we are greatly concerned by the actions of the United States regarding the JCPOA, which are aimed at undermining this multilateral international agreement supported by the UN Security Council. We welcome the positive momentum in regulating the nuclear program on the Korean Peninsula. The IAEA, we note, does not allow, through its mandate, for resources to be provided to deconstruct any nuclear infrastructure. But, however, we welcome the efforts of the Secretariat of the IAEA to support the readiness to renew safeguards throughout the Korean Peninsula. The Russian Federation calls for the modernization of the opportunities provided by the agency, including the additional protocols to the agreements on safeguards with the IAEA and new reviews of the obligations taken on non-proliferation. No matter what the reform of the system is, it must remain objective, non-politicized, technologically founded, understandable for states, and based on the rights and requirements undertaken by the sides to the parties in accordance with the positions they have taken on safeguards. Any objective aspects of these issues, these nuclear review issues, are a crucial element to ensuring the sustainable development of the IAEA's regimes. Russia actively participates in the activities of the agency as a financial donor, including through providing voluntary donations to the International Project on Innovative Nuclear Reactors and so on, as well as in developing projects to develop nuclear infrastructure. Currently, we are regularly providing contributions to the agency's budget. Sir, we fully support the efforts of the IAEA in technical cooperation and in providing relevant assistance to developing states. And for our part, we're actively facilitating the development of atomic energy in other countries. In 2017-2018, we have signed agreements on peaceful atomic cooperation between Russia, Bangladesh, Zambia, Kazakhstan, Cambodia, China, Paraguay, Sudan, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan. And here I also wish to draw attention to the fact that on the territory of the Russian Federation, there is an international center for uranium enrichment, whose participation with this center is open to all those who are developing atomic energy and maintaining their obligations under non-proliferation. Russia is also carrying out work to implement a state scientific center on research into atomic reactors, and we welcome all interested parties to take part in this international center. Russian Federation supports the work of the agency on physical security of nuclear objects. We are convinced that responsibility over the physical security of these objects in the territory is laid upon the state itself as part of the national system of end measures. We stress the central role of the IAEA in international cooperation on this issue. Its participation in the organization of contacts and the exchange of best practices between interested states. We think that the maximum and most broad participation of states in international agreements in protecting nuclear objects is crucial, as well as international conventions to combat nuclear terrorism is crucial. Russia signed and ratified these international agreements. We call on states that have yet to do so to end their domestic procedures so as to accede to these crucial international instruments. Sir, we stress the importance of carefully supporting the IAEA by member states. We must refrain from any artificial agenda items and artificial implementation in its activities of any sort of issues that would go beyond its mandate. We feel it is crucial that the agency work in the interests of spreading the peaceful use of the atom and bolstering the non-proliferation regime. And we support the UNGA draft resolution on the report of the IAEA, and we are one of their co-sponsors. We thank you for your attention.
I thank the distinguished representative of Russian Federation for his statement.